good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Life Show podcast. My name is Tyrone Brown Jr., and of course, my main man, 100 grand, you know who it is Jackie Roper Jr., all the way from Indianapolis, Indiana. What's
Yo,
happening,
yo,
Jack?
yo, what's up with the Tyrone? How you doing, baby?
Good, man. It's good. Man, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling good, man. You know what I mean? Blessed to be here.
You know it.
You know what I mean? Taking precautions.
Yup.
Precautions, man.
That's it.
You're
That's
serious.
it.
That's all I can tell you. A lot of people sick, man. So I'm blessed to be here, Tyrone. Happy to see you. Let's get the show started and moving. How about you, Tyrone? How you
Man,
doing?
it's all good, man. I'm well. And I only pray, for those that are experiencing, the effects of COVID and, all of these other things that are going on out there. So my prayers are up. I just, lost a few people just these last couple of days, just hearing about these things. But my heart goes out, my prayers go out to all of those that have lost loved ones during these hard and trying times. And I know today is a holiday. And actually, today is Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, or what we're celebrating his birthday. And so I think from that, we have prepared a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King. So Jackie, can we roll to that?
Yeah,
And then we're gonna get into tonight's program.
no doubt. Here we go. MLK.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Yeah.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
Here we go.
Yes, sir. That was the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And most people don't know that he was born Michael King. But after his dad, who was, a minister, after his dad traveled a bit, wanted to name him Martin Luther King Jr. And so that's just a fun fact about Dr. Martin Luther King. But he did so much for Americans today. And if you are a dreamer, if you are a believer in the movement, I know most people or some people, they don't have a lot of good things to say about Martin Luther King Jr. But I will say this: he was a pioneer, and I'm glad that he went the direction that he did in order to get people to see that we're all created equal, and that's my heart desire. He showed those who would listen a better way, and I think for the most part, people bought in to the whole "I Have a Dream" movement. And so those are my thoughts. Jackie, any thoughts about Dr. Martin Luther King and his life?
Yeah, man. We still fighting for his dream today.
Yeah.
You know, we still fighting for it, man. He stood up and put himself out in the forefront to be beaten, jailed, dog sicked on him, water hose sprayed on him, him and
Yeah.
a lot of people. So I just can't. He had a team of
Yeah.
people that went through that with him.
Yeah.
You know, Rosa Parks included. Even on in that era, it was, you know, shout out to Martin Luther King, but him and Malcolm X, even though they had different ways of going through it, they both was in the same fight together
Yeah.
for us as black folks to be equal.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, my thoughts on that is that, you know, we need more and still have to have people like him to this day. You
Yeah.
know, he instilled a lot in black men. Some of the qualities that we have, I guess, you know, because they pounded it in us a little bit more when we was coming up in school than they do today.
Right.
Today
Right.
is a little bit more watered down. Our parents actually had to go through that. You know, my mom's was one of the first black females to be bused to an all-white school.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So people act like it's that far away, but it's not that far away to what we had to go through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our
Yeah.
parents lived through segregation, through the times of you can't drink at this water fountain, you
Yeah.
can't use this bathroom, you can't eat at this restaurant. That is not that far away to where it's still in some of people's older people mind 80, 90, 70, and is also a generational let's say drug that's passed down from generation. You're not born a racist,
Right.
you have to be taught to be a racist.
I agree.
So therefore, if my uncle or my great granddaddy had that type of feeling, then they're teaching me how to hate. They said those words and passed it on.
Yeah.
So once that can be washed away, then all the hatred I feel with separation and division will come. I think in the time, Tyrone, our kids will live a better life without so much racism involved. You know, it's going to be 25 years from now, maybe 50, but I think a lot of people are moving past that division of races and racist thoughts. Not everyone, not all people, but most people.
Well, what I would say to that, and that's a powerful thought. That you believe that we're moving in the right direction, but seeing things from a different perspective, um, I don't think that racism will ever be abolished because it's a lot of the mindsets that are going on, and of course, like you said, it is taught. People are not born racist because there were many experiments put in place. If you put different races of children in the same room, they're not looking at each other's skin color. They're looking at one another that this is my friend, and then you tell them to go play. What they're going to do is they're going to go play together. They're not going to have any kind of reserve or rejection thoughts in their minds about the race or the skin color of each other. All they know is I like playing with this kid. So as we get older, of course, we make our we draw our line in the sand and said this is exactly how far I'm going to go, and I'm not going to move any further past this line. And if anybody tries to cross this line, then I will take it as disrespect towards me and my heritage or my race. And so I think at this point in time, we're gonna keep on fighting. We're gonna keep on fighting this racial issue. We're gonna keep on fighting all of the things that are happening all around us, it is deeply, deeply ingrained in the minds and the hearts of so many people until now you're having, people be racist against one another, because of their choices. A lot of people are not going to like what I'm saying there, but if you look and if you watch close enough, you can see it all over. You can see the proof of what I'm saying. And so, what I will say to that is do your best, ladies and gentlemen, do your best out there to abolish racism. Do your best to be your brother's or sister's keeper. Because when we focus on other people instead of having a selfish motive, then we're going to see change as it is, or change that needs to happen. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see change that needs to happen, but it starts with us. And so I thought it necessary, and so did Jackie. We thought it necessary to start off with a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King and his dream. I hope that it is the rest of our dream to be free of racism, to be free of rejection because our skin color is different. And so we're gonna move on. But I'm so excited to be here today. Jackie, we got new stuff coming up, all the time, and I'm thankful that we now have our QR code. We now have our QR code, so people can scan to go to our website. They can scan in to go to YouTube and Facebook. So that's a big step ahead. And so if you see it on the screen, you can now scan the QR code, and then you can go straight to, our website, to Facebook, or to YouTube. So that's all a part of growth, and it's one step at a time. It's one step at a time. I'm so grateful for Fox Glen Marketing, man, and to our partnership with Jackie, and that's how you grow. You grow, internally, and you grow out of that internal meeting, and then you build. And so I'm thankful for that connection, to that for that partnership with Jackie and Fox Glen Marketing. And so we gonna get it started. Jackie, we got a real good topic here, man, today. And we're gonna talk about this new law that is in place. And it has just been drafted up. It's called Essa, or Essa. And it stands for Every Student Succeeds Act. And let me say that again. It's called Essa, or Essa, however you pronounce it. But it stands for Every Student Succeeds Act. Okay. And this is a new law. It's a new education law. And so you can look it up. Those of you that are out there, we're gonna bring up the we're gonna bring up the article about a new education, this new educational law, and then as we talk about it. But this is real interesting to me. Now, Jackie, you can jump in, whenever you feel like it. But this is really intriguing to me. Here it is: the Every Student Succeeds Act, or Essa, was signed by President Barack Obama on December 10th, 2015. And it represents good news for our nation's schools. This bipartisan measure reauthorizes the 50-year-old elementary and secondary educational act, the nation's national education law and long-standing commitment to equal opportunity for all students. So if people don't understand what that means, all that means is that it's reintroducing the student law that that there cannot be discrimination, okay, based on testing and all of those things. If you don't know, we have been discriminated against. And the Dr. Martin Luther King did, it's so appropriate today. It's being his birthday, and then we're talking about Essa, but it is so appropriate today because now it gives us, or it introduces us to rights that we were once, restricted against. And that's big, man. Here it is. We are often discriminated in education. And I don't know if people see it or not. I think a lot of people see it, but for the most, I think we kind of turn a blind eye to it. Jackie, what is your thoughts on this law? Now, this was in 2015, but I don't think many people know about it, and it's not being talked about a lot.
Well, you always bring me in on these topics, man, to try to give my darn gone opinion about it. Man, I first off, I think the educational system is biased all in itself.
Yeah.
I think it's set up where they have different education set up for the inner cities than they do for the outer cities. But until you grow, you won't really realize that, or if you don't tune in to certain things, you won't realize that. What I'm saying is this. I think they set it up for all of us to be in the inner city or in lower income places. They teach us the tools to become maintenance men, janitorial service workers, such as math that you really won't need. They don't teach you how to budget from the basis of checks and balances and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that you don't even learn in your own home of how to sustain your bills. You know what I mean? They don't look at the area codes and wonder that, all right, all of these kids are living in low income housing. How can we educate them to get out of low income housing? You see what I'm saying? And move forward. Is more of a struggle. Now, this is real talk, man, because I feel like in different cities or different areas or different townships, they're teaching them computer science and other types of skill sets, business, minded. That's not being taught to us, how to develop a business. Everybody's not going to work for someone, but if you, or you might, but that's called your groundwork as well, Tyrone. So you will work for someone to get your feet wet, but the thing about it is growth. I didn't know about the stock market, and some of these kids are being taught the stock markets in an early age. To me, that's cultural bias and difference.
True.
Nothing that I really known about even in elementary. Went to Washington Elementary School. Shut down now. You know what I'm saying? But I can't remember the value of my education to where it's like, Jackie, what are you going to do besides these little, hey, your pluses and your minus, your algebra and your geometry? What is going to be your work ethic after you finish high school? Because we all say, I'm not going to use geometry after I leave here. So why are you pushing me for it? You see what I'm saying? Why don't you find out, say, hey, man, this kid right here might not, this math, this geometry, but the boy is cold over here. Let's focus this and develop a skill for him instead of saying you fail geometry.
Yeah.
Because
I think that they don't target strengths. I think there's so much there's so much target and so much push on weaknesses until they're trying to strengthen weaknesses instead of focusing on the positives and on the strengths.
True.
I think that's my that's my thought process. Yes, we want to strengthen the weaknesses, but why don't you capitalize on the strengths so that they will feel more confident when it comes to the weaknesses?
Now, and you're right. You see, and I hate when you get to talking about the educational system, man, because I'm back at putting kids through the educational system.
Yeah.
And so I'm teaching my daughters math, and my son right now, he's brilliant to where he'll come home and he'll do his work like that. But once you start having them still at the third grade until they really grasp hold of their learning skill set and what they can do, and then they'll break loose. Right now, she's at that math point to where the girl she knows it, but she scares herself out of the answer.
Yeah.
And Daddy has taught her techniques and ways to do the subtraction and do the addition, because from me and my, learning disability, so-called, is what they said, coming up, I had to figure out ways to maneuver it and not be so that you would say, hey, this guy is stupid. No. I might have to put out 13 sticks on a piece of paper and subtract 5 of them suckers.
Right.
Might have to do it in a low way that you don't see it, but I got the answers 8. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep rolling. So however I develop my skill set of doing it, what I'm teaching her is you can do it, baby.
Right. Right.
And this is going to be your way of developing your skill.
True enough.
Someone else is teaching you might not be able to grasp it like this, but she comes back to being fearful of the right answer. You see, man, she's with me is more common. Then you also got to think about the teachers, man, and the ratio, and then the pandemic and all of this other stuff that was tied into the educational system right now. You know what I'm saying? It's so much involved in the educational system. They out of school right now, Tyrone. Right. My kids just got let out of school. So now you're talking about No Child Left Behind. It's hard to educate them, and the parents have to step in and start doing some of the education to make sure that your child don't get left behind at this time. You know what I'm saying? Missing sick days right now. I don't think they even counting sick days.
They're not.
Because of the pandemic and what you can go through. So as long as you can get your work accomplished and turn it in a reasonable time, then you can still pass on.
Right.
But you still have to grasp this information. And so what I'm saying is, I really didn't like the No Child Left Behind at first, but I also know that there's a cultural bias in the educational system.
There is.
And I also know that it's more levels than anything else. Financial levels, poverty. Mm-hmm. Someone can be going through something that they're smart enough to grasp it, but they might be dealing with other issues at home, and no one will really know. So my thing is, I always say, is what in the business that I do, hospice, put myself in someone else's shoes before you judge.
I agree. I fully agree. And check this out, Jack. This is a major point. A lot of times what we do is, because we're so busy, then we don't pay attention to the signs. We don't pay attention to that, our children are failing. And it's not, I don't think it's so much that we don't care. I don't think that. I don't think it's so much that we don't care. I think it's so much that we are so busy trying to provide for our children, for our family, until the resources that we need, we're too tired to take advantage of because now we're living in a world and in a society that's built on, okay, I got to provide for my kids. But now here it is in this act. Look, this new law, well, it's not really new, but it was in 2015 that it was signed off on. Watch this. On key areas, the new law builds on key areas of progress in recent years made possible by the efforts of educators, communities, parents, and students across the country. For example, today, high school graduations or graduation rates are at an all-time high. Dropout rates are historical lows. Now that was 7 years ago. But watch this. And more students are going to college than ever before. These achievements provide a firm foundation for further work to expand educational opportunity and improve student outcomes under Essa. Now watch this. That was 7 years ago. I don't think graduation rates are at an all-time high. What I believe now is that dropouts are more prevalent than anything because the students are not motivated to now overcome boredom. And again, I'm not trying to put my kids on blast, but they're suffering through this just like everybody else. My son tells me all the time, my 15-year-old, man, Dad, I'm bored. What do you mean you're bored? Now, I don't understand boredom because I always keep myself busy. But him having to, if he has to stay home from school, then he misses that social interaction to where not only is he learning, but he's learning from other people now being around them. And I think that says a lot, man. I think that says a lot about the way that we learn. Not just, well, send them to school, but I'm talking about the way that we learn in specific terms, talking about when our children are going to school with other people, they learn things. Now, they may not always learn the right things. Okay, I get that. But learning things from other children is a necessity because it teaches them when they bring it home, now they know what the values, the standards, the foundation of the way that they were raised. Okay, and so now they're able to now comprehend it better because they're seeing the example of other kids and the path that they're going. Now, not so much in elementary school, but I think in the last couple of years of middle school and on into high school, they finally start realizing it, that, hey, this lifestyle is so much different than mine, And I think, even with elementary, I think our kids like, well, such and such mom let him do this, or such and such dad let him say this or bring this or wear this. So they understand that there's a difference when there's social interaction.
No,
I think that's big, Jack.
What you got? You got a 5-year-old, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got a 6-year-old.
6-year-old. I do too. I see it already in my kids, man. In my 6 and my 9-year-old. In elementary, how they are right now, Tyrone, I really see a difference in how they act, what they will say. Like you said, that social interaction right now. And I'm bored. And when you said that I don't know what boredom is because I always keep myself busy. Right. This weekend, I almost felt that. And I didn't want to say it. I told Tyrone, I said, I'm not gonna say I'm bored because I was doing a lot. Okay. But then it was just that one period that I didn't have nothing to do or I didn't want to do anything, but I was still bored. And I said, I can't say it because I keep telling my son, don't say you're bored. But the social interaction is out of there, man, because, you know, he has been missing school. He does see a lot of development and different, and he's learning from them, such as the haircut thing. You know what I mean? The boy won't let me cut his hair, but I have it cut and I always keep it shaped up. But he's on this growth of the hair. Dad, can I grow my hair out? As long as I keep it, nice and neat and lined up, then you good to do it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna keep it looking so wild until you are of age to maintain and do what you need to do for it.
Right.
But that's one of the growths that I have to go through with him, because the friends and his experience now, that's how they look.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's going on to middle school, so I can't give him the even Steven like I was getting. I can't.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's the same way with my 15-year-old. Now, my 6-year-old, though, he really doesn't understand that, to
As
this
of yet.
point. But my 15-year-old, he's like, man, Dad, don't cut all my hair off. Don't cut it down on all sides and then line me up.
Yeah.
Because everybody else, they growing their hair out, regardless of how nappy it looks.
Yes.
Just as long as you give me a lining, in the, my lining and then my back, I'm good. Or a taper, what they call.
There you go. But that's the thing. And I try to tell my kid, don't be a follower. Always be a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If everybody else is doing something, why don't you do something different? If everybody else looks like that, why don't you want to look like that? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Why don't you make yourself distinguished from everyone else, man? When that look came around, I'm sorry that we on that, but I felt like you putting yourself in a disadvantage because now you're looking like you can't maintain a great job and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
Well, they don't understand that, Jackie. All they're doing is you have the trendsetters, and then those that follow after.
Yeah.
And so when our kids are going to school and they're learning all of this social interaction, even though they don't want to be stereotyped, they are now taking on or portraying everything that is a negative outlook that everybody else is presenting. So when they take that on, now they take on the negativism of other people. And they don't understand it. They just thinking, well, this the style. Well, who developed the style? Right? But they miss all of the information that what makes them a presentable person for a job, for an interview, out in the real world, that they can't get tattoos all over their face. That they can't go to an interview with hair all messy and everything. That they must be presentable in a work environment to where now when they see customers, that their customers are not afraid of them.
There you go.
And so, we're faced with that challenge.
They're not afraid of you.
Right.
If you look like you're a threat to someone, they will be afraid and want to associate with, no matter how kind you are about how you look.
Yeah.
I mean, how you act, but your presence gives off a threat. So
exactly.
I know we went off topic with that, man.
It flows right in the topic, Jackie, because here it is. Watch this. Now we're talking about, for those of you that have just joined us, we're talking about Essa or Essa, however you decide to pronounce it, but it's called Every Student Succeeds Act. And it was signed off by President Barack Obama in 2015. So it's a fairly new law, okay? Now, involved with this, the previous version of the law, watch this, the No Child Left Behind Act was enacted in 2002. Watch this, look. The No Child Left Behind represented a significant step forward for our nation's children in many aspects, particularly as it shined a light on where students were making progress and where they needed additional support, regardless of race, income, zip code, disability, home language, or background. So this was big because guess what? You spoke on the No Child Left Behind Act. You spoke on that. Excuse me. And so now that you spoke on it, what this did is this replaced No Child Left Behind. All right. And when you get into all of these laws, now what you're doing is you're putting yourself in position for succession or for succeeding. But if you don't know the law, then how can you succeed with what you don't know? And that's why it's so important for us to bring these laws out, because these are things that we do not research. It's not like every law that's put into effect that the media goes out and say, look, everybody, this is the law now. Okay? They don't do that. All right. What they do is they sign these laws, and because we won't research, many of us, we won't research, now we don't know what we have benefit to. It's just like when we get insurance. Okay? When we get insurance, that's why we have an insurance agent, for them to explain what's all in our policy so that we know the benefit that we get for or from insurance. Now, with this, we got to go in and we got to do our own research, because now there is no Constitution agent that comes around and tells you exactly what that means. And so our children are missing benefits because we don't know the law. Look at this. Watch this. In recognizing this fact, in 2010, the Obama administration joined a call from educators and families to create a better law that focused on the clear goal of fully preparing all students for success in college and careers, which you spoke to earlier in the program, Jack. You spoke to it. So now this is already in effect, and all we have to do is know the law. All we have to do is know what we're getting into, so that now we can better inform other people. See, if I'm getting on this podcast and just, as we call it, millie mouthing, who does it help? Look, watch this. Everybody likes entertainment. I get that. Everybody likes a show. I get that. But how many people like information? That's what our main point here is. Jackie, when you said educator, then when you called me an educator, I almost said no. But my heart is educating people on things that they lack in and that they may or may not know, and giving specific details so that now when we know, we can grow. And that's key, man. It really is in developing in life. This whole Essa Act, what it did is it took the place of the No Child Left Behind Act. And I know a lot of people know that, the No Child Left Behind law, but this one, it took the place of it, because now it sets you up for success after school. It sets you up for success in your career. It's not like, well, we just don't want to leave you behind. So we just going to pass you on to the next grade, because that's what the No Child Left Behind Act did. All right. What it did is it just passed you on to the next grade, whether you met the requirements or not. But this new one that was signed off by President Obama in 2015, what that said is, no, it's just not left behind. What we're going to do is we're going to empower you. Okay? We're going to empower you. So when we empower you, what we're going to do is we're going to give you tools for after school. All right? And we're going to, as I was stating earlier, we're going to target those areas of strength that you have, so that now you become more confident when we talk to you about your weaknesses. Now, that's key. That's big, man. So everything that we've been talking about, here it is right here. I mean, I don't see why we should have, children failing, because now we can go back to the law and we can point to the law and say, no, this is my right by law. But if we don't know it, how can we, take advantage of things that we don't know? We can't. And that's huge, man. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break. And I know I've been, this topic is gassing me, man. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break real quick, and we're gonna come back and finish up this conversation about Essa. Every student succeeds act. Okay, we're going to keep on talking about that after our commercial break right now. What's up, everybody? My name is Tyrone Brown Jr.
And I'm Jackie Roper Jr.
Look, this Junior, man. Hey, let's get it. What we're coming to you today is talking about marketing and advertising. Look, Fox Glen Marketing is at your service for all of your podcasting, marketing, and advertising needs. Look, contact us at the number below. You won't regret it.
We got two numbers. We got a 219 number and we got a 317 number. If you need to talk to Tyrone Brown for the Gary, Indiana area, please reach out to him. This is a partnership that we are working from Gary to Indianapolis to develop small businesses, to make sure that we can get y'all creative marketing and small business development going. Podcasts, all of that, man. Whatever you got going, talk to us, let us know. We got a great following. We are trying to build together to where everybody friends become friends, to where you can reach out to the masses.
Definitely. So you don't want to miss. Look, Fox Glen Marketing and the Life Show, we about to go up. My name is Tyrone Brown Jr.
And I'm Jackie Roper Jr.
Look, keep it locked. Stay consistent.
Here we come, baby.
That was good.
That was a good one.
This is the Live Show podcast, and I'm glad that you are with us. Again, shout out to Fox Glen Marketing and Jackie Roper Jr. We're talking tonight about Essa. It is every student.
Tyrone, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, man, let me say something to the people who be watching us, man.
Okay.
Starting a business ain't easy.
Yeah.
Watching that commercial, man, I'm critiquing it myself. I'm like, all right, it's cool. We did something cool. I can do it better. But it's not easy, man.
Yeah.
Really starting a business is not easy if you want to start one. Listen to me. We all want to do something for ourselves, man, but really pushing it and making it happen without just saying I started a business. Yeah. It takes a lot more than that.
Can you say that again, man?
I'm going to say it one more time, because it's been a road travel.
Yeah.
Just by putting your name on a piece of paper and saying I started a business, that's steps to your business, making your business prosperous, setting goals to achieve for your business.
True.
To get to, because you will get to that point of where am I going with this?
Right.
Why did I start this?
Right.
Am I gonna continue this journey or am I finna go flip burgers? You laugh.
Now nobody's saying that is anything wrong with flipping burgers.
Because I go flip burgers for 4 places if I had to pay my bills.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Sign me up for McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Because I get off of one, I go to another. I work 3 jobs at one time, Tyrone, to support my family. So I'm not tripping over working wherever it's at, bro.
Right.
If it pays the bills, I'll make a pizza for you or whatever I got to do. I'll drop it off. However you got to pay your bills, that's a hustle.
Yeah.
Because you got a choice not to do it.
Yeah.
You got a choice to crawl up over on the street and get in a tent and beg for money.
Yep.
You got the choice. But, man, it's not easy, dog.
Right.
Starting a business without trying to make sure you're going to be prosperous. You can't just leave your other job and say, I'm going to do this. No, that's not what you're going to do.
No,
You better not do that.
No.
So it's not easy. Stay on the path. Stay focused. If you put yourself into it, then that means you believed in it yourself. Don't give up. Because we all have those thoughts. I have those thoughts as well. Where is my next turn from this? Where is the revenue from it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you try to set that revenue stream up, sometimes you get a little broken because of your sources and who you have to first start with.
True.
But don't give up, man.
Yeah.
Because if you got a good product, there's always someone out there that's going to want it. And I'm done. Let's talk about educating these kids and making sure they don't get left behind. You know, man, but it's not easy, dog. And
no, it's not. But see, we both know that through the trial and error that we've come through. Because if we didn't come through it, then we couldn't tell anybody else, look, man, you got to persevere through all of this negativity, through all of the stress, anxiety, uncertainty, all of that, and so
because the negative comes from the people who don't even have.
There you go.
The ones that don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw out of it, such as an individual standpoint of what they're trying to do in their life.
Right.
Congratulations always come from the ones who's going through the same path as you.
Yep.
The negative always comes from the ones that's like, where you going with, so you know where it come from.
Right.
But
they're wondering, this is the thing. They always wondering what you're doing, but yet they never invest into what you're doing.
Never. Not even, and you're not even talking about money.
No.
You're talking about your time.
Exactly.
You're talking about a thumb click of a like.
Yeah.
Or saying, hey, I like what you're doing. I'm doing something as well. Can I come to the show and spend $25 with you to promote my product?
There you go.
Don't sit here and say, Tyrone, I don't want to give you nothing to come and talk to your people. But can I pay you $25 to come sit in your lovely podcast studio to promote my business?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I agree. I fully agree.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about grants and Obama and the educational system.
Look, y'all. We gonna finish this. But I just wanted to share these things about Essa, and I'm glad that Jackie brought all of those things up because it's all a part of that.
It is stressful stuff. Shout out to Steph, baby.
Man, shout out Steph, man.
100
I love it. Keep it coming, Steph. Keep it coming.
Man. Hey, I'm gonna put it like this. Somehow, some way, we're gonna do a giveaway. And the giveaway gonna go straight to Steph. And we gotta buy her a meal, dog. Somehow, some way, I'm contributing a gift card to our most favorite viewer, dog.
Yep.
Somehow, Tyrone, you're gonna have to get that to her, man.
I'm with it.
Appreciate you, baby.
I'm with it. Well, I want to do the Essa highlights. The Essa highlights. Okay. President Obama, he signs the Every Student Succeeds Act into law on December the 10th of 2015. Then Essa includes provisions that will help to ensure successes for students and schools. Now, here it is, the law. This is what it includes. Advances equity by upholding critical protections for America's disadvantaged and high need students. It requires, for the first time, that all students in America be taught to high academic standards, not some, but all. Now, I'm going through highlights, all right? I'm going through all of these highlights. Watch this. It requires, for the first time, that all students in America be taught to high academic standards that will prepare them to succeed in college and their careers. Watch this. It ensures that vital information is provided to educators, families, students, and communities, though through annual statewide assessments that measure students' progress towards those high standards. So these are things that law includes. Now, if we didn't, I'm wondering. My wonder is this: if we didn't bring this topic up, I wonder how many would have seen this already. I wonder how many people already knew about this law already, because I didn't. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't. I'm gonna be straightforward and honest with you. Before I researched this topic, I did not know anything about it. Okay, and this was in 2015. This was almost 7 years ago. Actually, it'll be 7 years this year. This was December 10th. So it just passed the 6-year mark. So I'm really wondering if we as American citizens, if we are bought in to the benefits that we really have. Okay. Now I get it, the busyness. I get it. I understand, because I too am a busy parent. I too, work. I too, move about during the day to try to get things done. I am that guy. But at the same time, I mean, do we take time to look into these things for the betterment of our future and our children? That's my concern, because if I didn't look this up, and I was looking for something totally different, I wanted to know about education. And so I start putting things in about the educational system. Okay. Now, I knew about the No Child Left Behind. I knew about that. Okay. Because that's been talked about. But I knew nothing about Essa. And that's it. Look, that was my downfall. Here it is. It just passed the 6-year anniversary, December the 10th. Right? And so now, if you don't research, you're never going to find answers. Now, that's big. I mean, Jackie, did you know about Essa?
I did not, because I didn't care. That's the reason
Wait
why.
a minute. What you say?
I said I didn't because I did not care. It had no effect towards me to where I wanted to know about it. You see what I'm saying? Even though I got kids in school, it was nothing that, until you brought this up, I was like, all right, well, let me see what's going on. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing about Mr. Educator you are, to where you always getting me off into digging into something, but it also affects what's going on with my kids. You see what I'm saying? So because I do have young ones, man. So yeah, but when I got to reading about it as well, it's like I said, I jumped it off saying that the educational system is biased. You see what I'm saying?
But see, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because that was my previous thought too, that the educational system is biased. And so when I'm looking into this law that I thought was spanking brand new, and found out that it had been, passed into law in 2015, I felt embarrassed, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I felt embarrassed because that said, Tyrone, you didn't think of enough, into your child's future to really dig and really understand what you have benefits to. Now, what I'm going to do is now this is going to be a badge. Hey, now I need my child to learn this. Now, I'm glad that my children came up in a good educational system, but now my baby boy, I really need to put him in position to really excel. I really do. And it shows me that, man, we got even though we've come a long way, we still got a long way to go, because we haven't accomplished nothing. We still keep on going back to the past instead of moving ahead into the future.
Like my kids down here in a good educational system. You know what I'm saying? I really like the Warren Township School that they placed in down here, man. So it's great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. It's different from me growing up in Gary, man, from Gary West Side. Right. And Gary, and I went to Washington Elementary School, in Edison. Yeah. It's a whole different. Come on, man. My oldest is 25. Now these babies going through elementary and middle school again, man. So it's different in that gap. And so
man, I get it. And see, but see, that's the thing, Jack. If I was not searching for something else in education, I never would have found this. And this just gives me plenty of more ammunition to go after. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. But man, we come through all of our time, man.
Oh.
We've come through all of our time. But I'm gonna tell everybody this. Look, be looking out for Fox Glen Marketing and the Life Show, because we are doing some special things. We got some special things coming up. We already have our QR code. So if you don't know what that is, Jack, can you flash it on the screen? Our QR code, all you got to do is scan the QR code, and you can go to our website, our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube page. Okay? And you can know exactly what's going on with the live show. You will not miss a beat.
Scan the code.
Scan the code, man. Scan the code.
The phone, scan the code. You get linked right to everything, baby. We coming hard. Tyrone, man, they don't know, man. Every day, dog, is a different day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I ain't gonna hang it up. I'm gonna pass this to my kids, man. Whatever it is, we're gonna develop it to keep it moving, to keep it grooving, man. QR codes is on the screen. Get on the Light Show, man. Go check out the Light Show. Go back to the beginning of the Life Show. There's so many videos on there. It'll keep you busy for days. If you want to talk about binge watching, binge watch the Life Show podcast or listen to it on the audio. I don't know what you need to do, but do it, man. Tyrone got a lot of good shows. The Hitters is on. So binge watch Life Show or Ear Hustle Life Show podcast. www.lifeshow.com. The Life Show podcast. I'm running over time, Tyrone.
Man, we good, man. We got to get on up out of here. And I'm telling y'all, man, look, be on the lookout for the Life Show, man. We got a lot of special things coming up. Tomorrow, we're going to release a video of a special interview, man. Y'all got to, look, be available about 12 noon. We gonna throw that mug out. All right, be available about 12 noon because we going to release that interview. Y'all don't want to miss it, especially y'all gangsters out there that think that y'all know what's going on. Man, tune in tomorrow, noonday. Is coming down, is going down right here on the Life Show. Until next time, look, y'all be safe, man, and have a great day. Look, enjoy your life. Don't let nothing stand in your way of succeeding and moving closer to your goals. Until next time, look, I'm Tyrone Brown Jr. for Jackie Roper Jr., Fox, Glenn Marketing, and the Life Show. Yo, man, let's tee up. We out. Peace.